There was a time when every new phone felt like the future. Each release brought something meaningful. Better cameras, faster performance, new ways to interact. From physical keyboards to touchscreens, from small displays to full-screen experiences, phones didn't just improve, they evolved. Devices like the iPhone 2007 or the Samsung Galaxy S3 weren't just upgrades. They changed how people use technology entirely. But somewhere along the way, something shifted. Today, new phones are still better on paper. The latest iPhone 15 or Samsung Galaxy S24 are faster, sharper, more efficient. But do they actually feel different? For most people, the answer is no. And that's because smartphones have reached a point of saturation. The core problems have already been solved. Screens are already high resolution. Performance is already fast enough. Cameras are already good enough for everyday life. We didn't stop progressing. We just reached the point where progress stopped being noticeable. And this creates a problem, because the industry didn't slow down. Companies still release new phones every year, not because the experience changes dramatically, but because the business model demands it. And this is where things become uncomfortable, because improvement is no longer the main goal. Replacement is. Small changes are marketed as breakthroughs. If you look at recent smartphone releases, the pattern becomes clear. Take the jump from the iPhone 13 to the iPhone 14. At first glance, it sounds like a major upgrade, but in reality, the differences were minimal for most users. The design stayed almost identical. Performance improvements were barely noticeable in everyday use, and yet it was marketed as the next big step. Then came the iPhone 15. Again, new features, new presentation, new excitement. But if you strip it down to real-world usage, most people wouldn't experience a meaningful difference from the previous generation. This isn't accidental. It's a pattern. Each year, small refinements are presented as major breakthroughs. A slightly better camera becomes revolutionary photography. A marginally faster chip becomes unmatched performance. A minor design change becomes completely reimagined. And the marketing works, because it doesn't sell the product, it sells the feeling of missing out. You're not told your current phone is bad. You're made to feel like it's no longer enough. But if you step back and look at it honestly, the gap between generations has become smaller than ever, and yet the pressure to upgrade has never been higher. Minor upgrades are framed as necessity. A slightly better camera, a slightly faster chip, packaged as something you need. But in reality, most people wouldn't notice the difference, unless they were told to. This is what makes modern smartphone development feel predatory. Not because the technology is bad, but because the cycle is artificial. You're not upgrading because your phone is obsolete. You're upgrading because you've been convinced it is. And yet, the device in your pocket is already powerful enough for almost everything you do. So where does that leave us? Have smartphones stopped improving? Not exactly. But meaningful innovation has slowed down. What we're seeing now isn't rapid evolution, it's refinement. And refinement doesn't feel exciting. It doesn't feel new. It doesn't justify a yearly upgrade. Which is why, for the first time in years, people are starting to keep their phones longer. Because deep down they've realized something simple. The future already arrived.